Richard, you mentioned there's been a Petty racing and involved in racing since that first Cup race in 1949. It was your dad's second race that he picked up the number 42. It was a little bit later in the year that he won his first race in the 42. So what does it mean to you for the family to have the 42 back in the fold? Because between your dad, you raced it some, Kyle, of course, raced it a lot. What does that mean, having the 42 back in the fold?
You know, it's talking about sort of a wheel going around. The wheel's always made its full circle, I guess, to get the 42 back. You know, when Dad had the 42, and then I had the 43, and then when Kyle came along and started Cup stuff, we put him in the 42 car. And so he raced there for a year or two, and then he went off with Sabatas, I guess, but he took the number. And Sabatas sells to somebody, and they take the number. So, you know, we've never really been able to get it back. But the new team that bought out Chicago, and something, and they're not going to use the 42 number. So it was perfect time coming with the new car and getting the number back, getting the 42 and the 43. It was always a good team, and it's just great to have that back in the fold.
You've always been even keeled. You don't get way up here, way down here. But what are you most looking forward to, most excited about with this transition, this new organization and partnership?
Well, I'm just looking at being more competitive than what we've been. You know, we've been through the Z's here for the last couple of years, but even before that, you know, we just wasn't up to par, and we've always had to depend, or not always, but the last few years, depend on somebody else's equipment, and then, you know, working it up from there. Now with our new operation here, we've got our own equipment. You know, we've got our own factory. We build everything, I guess, except the engines. So, you know, that the competitive part in me and Murray says, okay, this is the way it needs to be. So I'm just looking forward just to being competitive. When I go to the race, you know, it's hard to stay on top of the truck or wherever you get and be running 20th to 25th, racing, you know, to stay there. So we've got to be able to take our organization, go a little bit further forward, and, you know, I'm looking forward to the progress that we can make. Looking at, you know, we've got to do the first 2 or 3 races, see where we're at, and we'll get together and see what we've got to do to go forward. So the main deal is the competition. I just want to be more competitive